Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Pavan, an Olympian and beach volleyball world champion and a longtime professional indoor player.
And I'm Adam, former indoor player and coach, current beach volleyball coach, and most importantly, Sarah's husband.
Today we are watching season 2, episode 10 of Haikyu called Cogs. We are pretty much nearing the end of our training camp arc here with the Tokyo prefecture schools. Last episode, we saw Hinata learning some tips and tricks from his training session with Kuro and Bokuto, in particular, what to do to get out of trouble against a massive block.
The umbrella swing.
He picked that up very fast.
Oh, off the hands first ball.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. We kind of left off, they're gonna have a barbecue.
I mean, let's be honest. For high school boys, when you can go eat and your coach is paying, like that's the highlight of everything. It's like we used
no
to,
money.
100%. So we used to have this thing even in university where our coach was like, if you hold a team to under 10 points in any set, like pizza's on him. And we used to try so hard to get free pizza, but that's like the ultimate motivator is like coaches buying the meal.
Free food?
Yeah.
I was concerned by Kageyama's barbecue dance. It disturbed me.
It's tough.
It was weird. But a lot of important things have happened in this training camp arc. We have been talking about it incessantly. So let's see what happens here. Anything you want to add?
No, I was thinking about the title and I thought it was interesting. And my instinct was, like, they're all going to become cogs in the same machine. So to me, it made, like, everybody's equal. Everybody has worked on getting a little bit better. And now to be successful, all of those gears need to mesh. They need to move smoothly. They need to become a well-oiled machine. So I'm hoping that's what we see in this episode. I could be completely wrong, but that's where my brain goes after the training camp.
Well, let's see if he's right. Season 2, episode 10 of Haikyu is coming right now. The coaches for sure.
60セット以上やって今のところ勝ったのが3セットとは茨の道を来たもんですね。
確かにな。まあもし正常戦の時のあいつらならもう少し勝てただろうけどな。日向影山の変人速攻とおとりを軸にしたカラスノの攻撃スタイルとしてそれなりにまとまっていたからな。でもそれだと限界が見えていた。現に正常には負けた。だから新しいことを始めた。
分かってますよ。今はそれぞれが歯車を作ってる最中。全てが未完成で関東の強豪に勝てるはずもない。でも歯車が噛み合ったら。
Good job.
That was a little straightforward.
簡単にだなんて
This
そん
guy
な。
had too much
満を持して
soju.
勝ちます。
Suck it.
Suck it.
We're not in Korea.
My bad. That's my own personal experience.
Fukuro Dani, baby!
I'm predicting a win on this one.
I hope so.
Nothing to lose. Everybody's exhausted. Have at it. Hey.
Don't, Adam. I can't with that. It's the worst.
Bokuto-さん、さあ、レフト4番。ストレート締めろよ。
Block.
少しでも隙があると抜かれる。
Good feedback.
ブロックアウトか。
That's a good touch though. He did not expect it.
And I like that he's getting a little feedback. Nice dig. Ooh, nobody's called. That's a good quick run
多
from
少
there.
レシーブが乱れても強気で速攻を使ってきやがる。向こうのセッターも相当やな。
Akashi.
一本できれ
4番声援に上がってきた。
ナイスさ西野よナイスレシーブ
Ooh.
ナイスサルラストよこせ
Did you just call him
今うち
monkey?
の前衛は一番壁の高いローテだ。一本止めてみせろ。
Ooh.
That's a good angle.
Really good.
Around a triple block?
Yeah.
3枚ブロックのさらにインナーへの強打は
Yes,
すごく難
Kyoko,
しい
you
の。
know it.
肩が柔らかくないと負担もかかるしね。
見た赤字ね今の俺の超インナースパイク見た見ましたすごいですまぐれだけど僕とうるせえねすっげえなまぐれでも打ってみてあのフクロウ谷のボクト君は不思議ですね敵であろうと称賛の拍手を送りたくなる選手というか格上と思ってしまっているからかもしれませんが
確かに敵味方関係なく士気を高めてしまう選手かもな。
No, Hinata's like that too.
月島大さ必殺技おうよいいかこの技はな言うなれば生と同による揺さぶりだおおまたかっこよさげに言うお前何のことかわかんの予想がつきますこの技はな逃げるために使うもんじゃねえ完璧なタイミング完璧なトス完璧なスパイクの体勢
A
強
tip?
烈なスパイクが来ると誰もが思った時何より自分が強烈な一発が打てると思った瞬間が好機任せろナイスレシー
Definitely a tip.
ブ嘲笑うようにかませ
平田がフェイント
And it was
フェイント
intentional.
が決まるとなスパイク決めた時と違う気持ちよさがあんだよ前に落ちるボールを拾いにレシーバーが数人飛び込んでくるだろはい今まで自分と同じかそれ以上にあった目線がボールギリッギリ届かずこっちを見上げる瞬間が最高なんだよ
He is very motivated by the good feelings he gets from doing things well.
僕とさんが教えたんじゃないですかお前頭使ったのか
And that, so I've had this conversation with a few people on YouTube. That is why you don't teach your opponents things, because it comes back to bite you.
I know I talked about this in my first time watching Haikyu, but the statement of Bokuto is the type of player that you can't help cheering for. And I found that interesting because like sometimes, and I know if you've heard this before from me, I'm sorry, but you just like see such like a talent and you can't, even if they're your opponent, you can't help but kind of cheer for them and like hope they make it, you know?
Yeah, there's definitely, and it's two things, right? It's personality and it's skill. Like he is, part of the reason you like him is because he goes and he teaches Hinata that thing. Like he's very open, he seems very, I haven't seen a ton of him, but like genuine, positive, like he's a little cocky, but it comes off in a good way, it seems like, based on the interactions you've seen so far. I think that all adds to that feeling of like wanting to see him succeed.
I mean, even if you see like young kids playing and you can tell that there's one that's just like got it
Yeah, fair.
and is just better than the rest, you're like, man, I hope my little team doesn't have to play you, but like, what you're doing is cool, and like, I hope that, you know, you can take it as far as you want to.
So he's that talented. Like, you haven't really, like, you obviously hit that good shot, but I haven't really seen him play. So
well, they have said at the beginning when they started this training camp that he's one of the top 3 aces in the country.
Okay. Yeah, fair.
So
yeah.
It's like, and try, like, I don't love him. Like, his mannerisms bother me. His like emotional stuff bothers me, but I think that that's a really interesting statement.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then to see Ukai look at Hinata and see the same thing of like being able to lift up his teammates and the opponents at the same time with just like you were saying, his personality is a parallel there.
Yeah. I love that Hinata was aware enough and learned and had his eyes open on the attack to make that play. And so there's 2 other things that I thought were interesting there. One is, every time you've heard Bokuto, did I get that right? Bokuto speak, it's interesting. It's always about like, you make the shot, there's no better feeling. You tip the ball, your opponent looks up at you, there's no better feeling. It just seems like that motivation piece for him is about like the feel-good sense of accomplishment, which I think is interesting. And then I also loved my boy, Tsukushima, who...
Is he in the bro house?
Yeah.
We haven't talked about the bro
We
house
haven't talked
for a
about
while.
I feel like I'm gonna need to make some additions. Like, I got really excited at the beginning. And now I'm like being a little more selective. But I feel like he was he the bouncer? He quiet?
No, Aoni was the bouncer.
That's right. But yeah, I would say yes. But I like how, you know, now he's on the court, he sees the situation, he's worked on something, he's telling Kageyama like, hey, watch this, like, as the play's going on. That's not something you would ever have seen from him before. So just even to me, like, as a coach, if I'm watching that and I see him give that feedback on the floor, he cares.
I've trained with this guy. I know his tricks.
Yeah, but that's a sign of being like bought in for him, in my opinion. So I thought I really like to see that too.
熱出るぞ。本当、お前にだけは言われたくねえ。もうあいつらには1点もやんねえぜ。1点もやらないのは無理だと思います。赤足玉には乗ってきて。くそー、チービちゃんめ、こっちも負けねえぞ。
They're just all staring at him.
せーの。みんな心なしか調子がいいように見えますね。僕と君に感化されたかな。
I love when he does that.
2アタック。影山君もいいですね。ジャンプサーブも今日はミスありませんし。
ああ、今日の影山はなんつうか落ち着いてるっつうか穏やかだ
I
な。
love that side eye.
嵐の前の静けさみたいな怖さがあるな。
月島、もう一本出しそう。朝食ったものが腹になくなった感じがする。でもまだ腹は空かない。いつもより体がよく動くし、周りの動きもよく見える。自分の調子がいいことが自分でわかる。
Nice dig. Run it, baby.
Said it.
I have goosebumps already.
ボール来る。そんで止まる。
So good.
Full body chills.
So good. And I love, so the one thing that I think is
Are you
incredible.
crying?
No. It was a nice set, it wasn't that
I was
nice.
hoping.
The one thing that I love about this anime so far, which I think is so cool, is the space in between plays where
Even
the
between
athletes.
touches.
Yes,
Not
sorry,
even
that's.
between plays.
I meant like individual athlete plays.
Oh, yeah.
Where you get to hear their thoughts. And that is something that is so well done. And you just, as a setter, and I haven't played setter, but like I think you get kind of the same feeling as a coach, where it's like you have to pay attention to the energy of the team. You have to be aware of like you're trying to keep all of your hitters in a good headspace, the dynamics of the team. Like everybody else kind of gets to work on their own with their individual skill, but you're responsible for who gets set, how are they feeling, what's the tempo. And for him to be thinking about those things, to doubt running the new play and then to do it anyway, I love that mindset.
Because I love that he heard Hinata whispering in the back of his mind.
That's perfect. Yeah, baby. Hinata's gonna lose his mind.
やるなら先に言っとけ。だって今いけるって感じしたろ。したろ。なんだあの変な速攻復活か。違います。今のは初期にやってたあの速攻とは別物です。
He's on it.
歯車一つ目。
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Oh,
That's a change up.
yeah.
ボール来る。そんで止まる。
That was solid.
It was a great set. Oh, they are point for point. That's such a good feeling. Yeah, baby.
Aw.
なんだ今のおい。すげえな。
He is such a kid.
"目の前で止まったぞ。こうシューって。今回は絶対来る感じしたけど、実際目の前で止まるとビビるな。やっぱりお前すげえな。
なんだボケ。
It's like, what do I do with all these compliments?
影山がなんとも形容しがたい顔になってる。表情筋どうした。日向が影山をストレートに褒めるって。
Oh, she was there since the beginning when they were trying.
She was thrown in the tosses.
I have goosebumps.
Yeah.
再起動だ。
Oh. I love when he looks at his face.
くそ羨ましい。俺にも決めさせろ。負けてらんないな。続くぞ。へいへいへい。飲まれるんじゃねえぜお前ら。へいへいへい。翔陽は。
What?
Nothing.
I love everything about that. It's like 3 weeks of training, of going through the grind, of fighting with your teammate, of uncomfortable tension, and how he depicted that, like that sense of accomplishment when it finally works. Honestly, there's nothing like it. Like when you work that hard to try and get something, and then it finally clicks and you do it, it's such a great feeling of accomplishment. That's why you play. Right there. No, you disagree?
No, I don't have anything to add.
Fair enough. No, I just love that.
いつも新しいね。
もしちびちゃんがうちにいたら、お前ももうちょいやる気出すのかね。
翔陽と一緒のチームは無理。
なんで？
常に新しくなっていかなくちゃ翔陽についていけなくなる。俺がどんなに上手にサボっても多分翔陽にはバレる。あの天才1年セッターでさえ一瞬立ち止まっただけで見抜かれた。そんなの疲れるじゃん。
ほー。じゃあちびちゃんが敵として練習相手にいてくれたらお前もちゃんとやる気出すのか？
なんで？
だってお前ちびちゃんの試合見てるとき買ってきた新しいゲーム始めるときみたいな顔してるよ。
Because he's a puzzle to figure out. It's always changing.
っていうかそれどんな顔？
ワクワク顔。
何それ？意味わかんない。してないし。
してるし。
してないし。
That sounds like a conversation you and I always have. I don't do that.
鵜飼君。正直パッと見では前の変人速攻との違いがわからないんですが。
ああ、前の速攻は日向の打点をズバッと通過するトス。それに対して新しい速攻はスパイカーの最高打点イコールボールの最高到達点。
Yeah.
It's Grandpa.
I love that too. Throw me around, will you?
さっきとイメージは一緒なのに。
Okay, they got it though.
さっきまでの神がかり的な集中は途切れちゃったかな。
影山君どんまい。
腹立つ。
なんでだよ。それ以外に言いようねえだろ。
まあそうそううまくいくもんでもないよな。そんな時こそ先輩の出番だ。
Ooh,
good touch. Oh, here it comes.
Jump set that. He looked down this time.
Yeah. Did you get the touch?
Synchro attack.
ファーストテンポのシンクロ攻撃。ブロックに的を絞らせるだ。全員がトスは自分に上がると信じて突っ込め。
Tanaka.
Oh, スパイク決まる。マジ気持ちいい。
泣いてる。
片言になってる。だってこんなに気持ちよく決まるの久々っすもん。ちくしょう、あっちこっちから攻撃しやがって。影山、ナイストス。あざっす。
It's all coming together at the end of the tournament or training camp.
Adam loves to call this thing a tournament.
I mean, it kind of is. They're playing a lot of matches.
Anyways, the visual of the gears just slotting into position. Perfect.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, it's not completely polished, but the foundation is there.
Well, and again, for me, and I know we've talked about this, I like that it's not completely polished, because he continues to just be realistic about how things actually work. Like, yeah, you stunk at the beginning, right? Nothing was clicking. Everybody was making individual mistakes, which leads to, you losing 25-18. And now, like, everybody's made one more play than they did, when that happened, and the score inches closer, but you're still not going to be perfect. But you can see that progression of getting better and better, and quite frankly, against the best team that's here, like, you have to take some solace out of that, and you have to see the progress moving forward. And I like that everybody's excited. Ukai's excited, Takeda's excited, the managers are excited. This is exactly how you want to come out of a training camp.
But that's what it's like to be on a team. It's like the people watching from the outside are like, ugh, they only got one, they messed up this, they messed up that. But it's like, until you're in it and you understand the struggle and like what your unit is going through, like, yes, of course they're all excited because they've been living it, and it doesn't matter what it looks like from the outside. So I think that that's cool.
Anekaku, nice key!
常に新しくか。
よそ見すんな。
Oh, good touch.
Kageyama was part of that block, and then he turned and sent.
カワスの好調だな。初日グズグズだった攻撃が決まるようになってきてる。
They tie it up.
よしよしよし。
Give yourself a chance to win. That's all you can ever ask for.
だからといって浮かれんなよ。こっからが勝負だ。
確かに油断は禁物です。でも。
I mean,
苦戦してますが、うちらはカラスノの多彩な攻撃に惑わされずに落ち着いてやっていきましょう。
ああ、よし。
ボクトさん、話聞いてました。
ああ、聞いてたっつうの。ほら、さっさと始めんぞ。
He's getting a little cranky.
あれってまさか。
What did you think of the timeout talks?
normal.
Well, it seemed like, what's the name of the school they're playing?
Fukurodani?
Oh, I'm not gonna be able to get that one. They were just like, they had that mentality of a team that's been there. Don't need to say much. Hey, let's stay focused. They're doing some new things. Let's stay unfazed. I thought it was a good timeout for both teams.
Okay, I'm glad you approve.
Okay.
すいません。逆転できるチャンスだったのに。
He's gonna make an error.
Everybody's like, uh-oh.
Oh, we're hitting the head. smart. Don't sell.
As I'm laying on the ground.
Bokutoさん、ブロック3枚。おれい。もう一回だ、アカンシ。
No, don't set him again.
お願いします。今度こそ止めるぞ。せーの。お、け。さあ。お、カラスの逆転。この1週間でカラスのがリードしたの初めてじゃねえか。
They've won 3 sets,
That's a
okay?
tough stat.
ブロックですかね。今のはネットを越えなかったみたいだからスパイクミスだね。
What would you have done in the setter's position in that?
I probably would have set him the first one and then not the second one.
That was my instinct too.
I mean, he understands Bokuto well.
Yeah.
They've played together for a while, like. But this is what I was I know I alluded to his emotional issues at the beginning, and
Yeah.
like you hadn't seen them yet, so I was like careful about what I was saying.
As per
But,
usual,
like,
which I appreciate.
this is what I mean with Bokuto's emotional issues.
Yeah.
He is a little mentally weak. It's great to be great when things are going well. It's like very straightforward, but like if you're gonna get in your own head and you're gonna start being pouty and this and that, and like that's just not needed.
Yeah. What is it? I wonder, again, having not seen anything, he's so used to being unstoppable or successful that he hasn't really learned how to deal with when things don't go the way he's expecting to, because he's been, like, he's just better than everybody else.
Well, the whole team is like, here he goes again.
Yeah.
It's not like this is like a new thing.
Yeah, fair enough. Interesting. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have set him the second ball.
No, it was almost just like, I'll just do this because I don't want to deal with the consequences.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that is not a good place to be in.
Yeah.
もしかして。
あれ来ちゃった。
うっそ早くね。
もう早いな。
ああ、来た。
明石。今日はもう俺にあげんな。出た。僕としょぼくれモード。なんだ。
わかりました。じゃああげない間に落ち着いてくださいね。
I kind of like that
That's a good
response.
response.
though.
I like that too.
Don't go feeling sorry for yourself, dude. Like, it's part of the game.
None of us are interested in dealing with this.
ひなた、またあの速攻使ってくぞ。お前の欲しいトスを上げてやる。信じて飛べ。
おう、新しく手に入れたこの武器でフクロウ谷に勝つ。
And here is reason number 2 that I don't like Bokuto. The hey 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 is number 1. Number 2 is this emotional issue.
Yeah, that's a strange. It's a strange response to be like, don't set me anymore.
No, he's feeling sorry for himself.
No, I get that, and I get that people feel like that. Like, oh man, you're having a game where things aren't going well, and that even happens to obviously to star players. But that like, don't set me anymore.
No, he probably wanted him to be like, no, we need to set you. You're our ace. But like, I bet that's been said before. I bet like they're just so overseeing these outbursts that he's like, you know what, fine, I'm not gonna set you, because you could see his reaction when he said that. He was like, wait, what? You know, it's like he expected him to be like, no, we need you. And
So he needs a little. He's looking for a little pep talk. 'Cause
maybe.
I mean, clearly, based off his team's reaction, like this has happened before.
And it's got to be exhausting. Like,
well, you're constantly, when things don't go well, you're constantly waiting for your star player to like
have a
implode.
meltdown.
Like that's, because now everybody's spending energy on the team trying to make sure he feels good instead of focusing on what they need to be doing. And as the leader, you can't be an energy suck for your team. Like, you just can't do that.
That's a good point. Like, everybody's trying to focus on what they have to do to help the team win, and if everybody has to pour energy into you to make sure you're keeping your head above water, like, that's not good for the team or anybody.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, you lift the team up when you're playing well, and you don't have to be that player all the time, but it needs to be like, okay, when I'm playing well, everybody's great. When I'm not playing well, I need to be a net zero.
Yeah,
like,
you
not
can't
negative.
drag everybody down with you. It's just, ugh.
Yeah. Oh, that's, I didn't see that like personality trait from him coming.
No, because he comes off as being so confident, so knowledgeable, like, you see him at the good moments where he's like training and working on his line swing and working on this and that, and like he feels superior to Hinata and to Tsukishima because they're younger, they haven't done anything yet, so he has his like wisdom to share, but like now all of a sudden it's not.
Do you think the fact that Hinata scored on something he taught him in training camp had any effect on his behavior?
No.
Or brought him into that mode faster? Because it's the other thing that seemed like was his teammates were like, oh, this already? As in like the period of not playing well and going into that mode was shorter than it usually was. Do you think that played any impact on his behavior? Because his teammates were also like, you taught him that.
I don't think he was like upset about it. I think if anything, it was like, oh, now I need to show you something better. And then when that didn't happen, then it was like accelerated it. But I don't think he was like mad about the fact that he taught him something and he used it.
Okay. Kind of unrelated. Do we get any backstories of any players not from Karasuno, or is that a spoiler?
No, we do.
We do. Okay. Because that'll be interesting.
Well, you kind of saw what Kawa's last season.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So we do.
Okay.
Will Karasuno win their final set of the training camp? We need to find out.
My prediction is yes. They're aces in the tank. They're playing well.
And what a way to end if they do win, beating Fukurodani, the strongest team of everyone there.
I mean, that gives you just a nice little zip of confidence leaving the training camp, which I think would be, I think that's your ideal outcome, right? You go, you work on all of these things, it doesn't go well, but you definitely as a team feel that improvement, and then to finish on a high note, to be like, hey, we can compete with the best, I think that's powerful.
Yeah. The pieces they're coming. Yep. They're not, like we said, they're not polished yet, but they're getting there. It's really cool to see. So fingers crossed they get it together and pull off this set. Let us know your thoughts. I know we have some serious Bokuto lovers out there in the community, so let's hear it. Let's hear all the reasons why Bokuto is amazing and why we are wrong.
I have one other question about that. So again, I'm new to anime in general, but I feel like people find their favorite character and then are unwilling to admit that those characters have flaws. And that's like, it's totally fine to like somebody and for them to be your favorite character, but I feel like you have to be realistic about the good and the bad. And you still like them because it outweighs it, but nobody's perfect.
It's true. I love Kageyama, and the man has got some issues, you guys.
So I would be curious to know what the Bokuto fans, if they're your favorite character, like what you think about this behavior. Like, do you think it's acceptable? Do you think it's a byproduct of his personality?
And take some time to think about it. Like,
yeah, no quick responses, but I want some thoughtful responses because I'm curious.
And you know that he will talk about it with you and debate it at length. So present your arguments well. So yeah, can't wait to see what you guys come up with in the comments. As always, we'd be so excited if you would like this video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned because we are going to see the end of this set next week.